and welcome to another episode of Worst Collection Ever. This is the show where we tell you about the worst comic book collection in existence, and it just happens to belong to us. I'm Jen.
And I'm Sean.
And happy Easter.
Mm-hmm.
Happy WrestleMania weekend.
No.
Next weekend?
Next weekend.
Yeah, so this will drop on Thursday.
Well, we're recording.
Friday.
Yeah.
Saturday, WrestleMania weekend.
So I guess technically, yeah, you're going into WrestleMania weekend-ish, because April 4th, or when does this drop? April 4th.
Yeah, and then I think like the 6th is 6th or 7th is WrestleMania.
Well, just look at the calendar.
Oh, you mean on my phone that's sitting in front of me?
I know. We're always like dates.
Why would I want to look up information to have proper facts? Oops, wrong thing.
Because I can never remember.
Yeah, this will drop on the 5th, and then WrestleMania is on the 8th.
Correct. So
I know you'll be so excited.
Right. So we're technically everybody's in New Orleans having a good time, and that's how WrestleMania goes. But so we'll have to find a time to record around WrestleMania, I guess, for next. Yeah.
Episode. Well, we're gonna have to do it next Sunday or Saturday. Because you're going to be all WrestleMania'd.
I know.
Because today is Sunday, the 1st, April 1st.
April 1st, yes.
April Fool's Day, the shittiest, stupidest day of the year.
April Fool's Day is a shitty,
it's just day. It's so dumb because everybody who thinks they're funny likes to play jokes on April Fool's Day.
Agreed.
There was like, ew, I'm this. And you're like, you know what? Shut up.
Because I can't take anything seriously on April Fool's Day, which I'm trying to avoid looking at anything because everybody's gonna be like, "Hey, this is coming," and I'm like, "Oh yeah,
and then, no, wait, it's April Fool's Day. Never mind."
I'm like, whatever.
Yeah. So that it's a stupid day, and then also it's Easter.
It is
making a chicken right now.
We're making us some chicken. We're making some
potatoes,
some food. We're making some Easter food.
The cat keeps biting me. He's
having his own Easter right now. He's like, yeah.
It's like, Jenny, you're chicken, right? I am not chicken.
But we're having a good time here. Have we done anything cool?
No, we've been kind of been going through it lately. Just haven't been doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of us staying home, doing nothing. Because it's just been kind of a crazy past couple of months.
Mm-hmm.
So we haven't done anything. We haven't purchased anything.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate.
We did watch some stuff over the weekend.
Yeah, we did. But I mean, in relation to other podcasts.
Yeah. Well, we did watch also that...
the Gary Shandling thing.
Gary Shandling thing. At least the first part of it. And
we did.
I gotta say, I feel like I never appreciated Gary Shandling as much as I probably should have.
Yeah.
Him just like as growing up, because I feel like his absurdity was embraced by a lot of comedians and people that I came to really enjoy.
I think it was a huge influence for people. Like, I mean, I don't know if for sure, but I would say Comedy Bang Bang is kind of like a direct descendant.
Yeah.
Of, Gary Shandling doing his show on HBO, a lot of Conan O'Brien's humor.
Yeah.
That sort of stuff.
It's also I really came to realize this a lot too when I watched the full run of the, I think it was the Larry Sanders Show, which is excellent. It's just such a good show.
It really is. Yeah, because we watched that. It was one of those, because you'll watch stuff and you're like, this has not aged well.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see that was the case with the Larry Sanders Show. I thought that was actually it was still very funny.
It was very funny, and it still felt very timely, and just everything felt very just appropriate, in terms of, just the humor, and it just worked, But we watched that, and loved Judd Apatow. He was very close to Gary, and just the appreciation that he shows for Gary, and the reverence and the way that he puts together this documentary is what I think is really good. I think he does a really good job, and I'm a fan of Judd's too. There are some of his films that I'm just like, Jesus Christ, because
there's a couple things. I always feel like his films are too long.
Well, that's the thing. There's a lot of them are too long.
He needs to edit, because every single time I see one of his films, I'm like, this would have been so good. Like, great.
Yeah.
If you cut 30 to 40 minutes out of it.
Yeah.
It's still good. It just could have been better if you just cut it down. Yeah, I feel like everything he does is way too long. But I'm not saying that it's bad.
Well, there's some movies, too, that I kind of haven't had a chance to go back to, like Funny People. Or, what's another one? This Is 40.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that kind of hits me kind of close, too. Being of a certain age.
Yeah.
And everything now, and kind of relating to some of those items. But yeah, no, it's pretty good stuff. So, if you have HBO and you have HBO Go or something, check that out.
Yeah.
It's worth a watch.
Yeah. We still need to watch the second part. But the first part was pretty good.
First part's pretty good. And, and this is comic book related because Gary Shandling was in Iron Man 3.
Was he in Iron Man 3?
Yeah, he had a cameo as a senator or something.
Did he say Hail Hydra?
No, wait, does he? No, he might.
There is a part, and I don't remember who it is, but there's a senator who like leans over and like whispers like Hail Hydra to somebody else. Is that him?
I think it might have been him.
Oh,
So I think he was definitely in Iron Man.
Is that his last movie?
Probably. Whatever that was, whatever his last film role was, I think he said Hail Hydra. But yeah, no, I think, yeah, you know what? I think it was that. Wow. Yeah, I'm trying to think because I feel like he was in another Marvel movie as the character. Yeah, he was definitely in an Iron Man movie.
Okay.
So yeah,
he could have been in like the Avengers as the same.
Maybe
character.
the Avengers or something like that. Yeah, there's a lot of people farting around those movies.
Yeah, everybody's in those movies.
Seriously,
at this point, I don't think there's anybody in Hollywood who has not been in a superhero movie of some sort.
I might have been in one.
I think we've all been in one at this point. We're just the crowd running away from the green screen.
Yeah, I know. Maybe I was walking down the street and you're like, "You're in Avengers 5," and I'm like, "Oh shit!
Oh, cool! Yay!"
Avengers 5: Infinity War 2.
Oh, that's coming out at the end of the month, actually.
Yeah, we're gonna have to go see that.
Yeah, I think that comes out like the last Friday of the month or last Thursday or something.
Yeah, I kind of hope it doesn't break as many records because I feel like it'll just give them. Or maybe
I don't know if it will.
It probably will. Actually, it will. It will. What am I talking about? It'll break all the records that Black Panther set.
Well, Black Panther is like now the top earning superhero movie of all time or whatever. And
I'm sure Infinity War and Infinity War 2 and whatever, Jerk Off War 5. Those are all keep trumping each other because everybody's like, "Oh, gotta see him multiple times."
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
So,
I mean, we'll obviously see it. We'll make a point. I feel like I'm not really I'm not super excited for it. I was pumped for Black Panther. Like I saw those trailers and I was like, yes.
No, I'm pretty excited.
And this one, I'm kind of like, okay.
I'm pretty excited for it because now we finally get to see how the Guardians interact and
that's true.
How that stuff goes. I think it's gonna be.
I'm just worried there's gonna be so much packed into it that I'm just gonna be like, oh, okay. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we're bearing down for it.
Yep.
What else did I feel like I've also watched a few things. Well, I've been reading a lot more of that.
Your Drax book, yeah.
I'm reading a lot more of that and catching and kind of going back.
How's that doing?
It's going fine. It's actually pretty funny because it's a lot of stuff that I think I've already passed over once before, in previous reads from other, collections on Captain Marvel, because a lot of it's basically just Captain Marvel and, and some Warlock and all that, because it's just focusing on Drax. And like early Drax, like Drax wasn't around, like as far as I can remember, he was only around for like 10 years or so, 10 years or whatever in the 70s. And then he got, dissipated by his daughter, she knocked him, took out his consciousness, and then he came back, but it wasn't until like the 90s. So he was gone. Like, there's a lot of those guys that were like just gone for like a while. Like in the mid 80s. I'm trying to think of like some good mid 80s Thanos stories. I don't think there are any.
I don't know.
And something like that. So, I mean, a lot of those guys were kind of, those was a different time. So I'm catching back up on a lot of these, these stories. And it's pretty funny because Drax and like Captain Marvel, like, they're always fighting each other. And Thanos, the thing about Drax is that he exists to kill Thanos. And Thanos at some point gets turned into stone or whatever. And Drax finds out, and Drax thinks that Captain Marvel did it, and Captain Marvel's like, well, I didn't do it. He's like, yeah, but Drax is like, well, I still hate you, and I'm still going to kill you. But in the meantime...
Why can't he just go break the statue and be like, I'm done?
Yeah, I mean, I figured if you break the statue, that would be good.
I mean, that makes it easier. He's not moving. Just go get it.
I don't know why he didn't break the statue. I mean,
that's what I mean. Like, oh, okay, I get it. You exist to kill Thanos. Maybe this isn't the way you wanted it to go down, but right now he's not moving and he's not going anywhere. Just destroy the statue and be like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah. No, I mean...
No, I'm just gonna get pissed at the guy who turned him to stone.
He just goes, fuck, and he just runs out, but like, yeah.
Comic books are dumb.
Yeah, and like, yeah, but I don't know why so instead, like, they decided, well, we're gonna go back to Titan, because apparently, like, it was actually a book we read on this show before, where, like, they go back to Titan, and there's, like, a big, fart fest going on, because because Thanos apparently set up, like, a thing in the computer to, like, a bunch of malware in the computer to, like, make it, all of his evil dudes are gonna be able to take over. Because all Thanos wants to do is he wants to fucking kill people.
Yeah, he's got nothing else to do.
Yes, he's always talking to Death, and Death is always like not responding. And he's like, "Look at what I'm doing! I'm killing all these motherfuckers for you." That's like literally.
Is he trying to win Death's affection?
Pretty much. I feel like any story. The majority of stories that feature Thanos was just him turn into like Death and just being like, "What the look what I'm doing? Just for you." Yeah,
and she's like, "Nah."
She's like, "Nah, man." At one point, I think it was in Infinity War, he actually takes a bunch of planets and spells his own name out with them. I took a picture of it like a long time ago.
Is it like that Futurama where like Fry rearranges the stars to say like, "I love you, Leela"?
Pretty much.
But then she like doesn't see it and like it disappears and he's like, "Oh."
Yeah. No, pretty much. I mean, it's pretty much like that. It's like the equivalent of pissing in the snow in space. pissing your name in the snow. Excuse me. Fucking stepped all over that joke. But but no, that's what he's doing until Drax is all pissed off, and then it's like, so it's funny because they're on like Titan and they're all beating up all these people that are trying to beat them up because they got like convinced to go into Titan. So like, all these evil forces can go to Earth and fuck things up, and it's a big mess. But they're on Titan, and like Drax is like, well, we'll keep beating these guys, but I'm gonna kill you, Captain Marvel. I'm gonna kill you. And every so often, Captain Marvel will be like, you still mad? He's like, yes, I'm gonna kill you.
Captain Marvel's like, okay, whatever.
Captain Marvel's like, whatever. I'm gonna die from cancer anyway, so I don't fucking care.
That's true.
Which, by the way, I think, and I've talked about this on the show before, that is the saddest comic. If you ever want to read the saddest comic, read that comic. The Death of Captain Marvel. It's a Marvel's first ever graphic novel that they started releasing them. Yeah, and it is the saddest fucking shit you'll ever read. Because
he had the C,
or as they call it, the Black Death.
Oh no, that's even worse.
It's like Black End or something. They call it something.
That's even worse.
Yeah, it's like I didn't know cancer could be worse, but it is.
I didn't know saying cancer could be like less scary.
Like if my doctor came in and was like, "Sean, do you have the Black End or something?" I'm like, "Oh God!"
And then like actually cancer would be like, "Oh, that's better."
Oh, cancer's better, right? Yes,
better than the Black End.
The
Jesus
Black
Christ.
End. Yeah. So yeah, but he it's fucking sad, and like but it's it's in this collection. Because there's a part of it in the collection because Drax shows up to be like, "Hey, fuck you," whatever. Hate you, but now you're dying. But it's pretty good. I like. I'm a big fan of all that.
Did Drax just do basically what the law did to Jimmy Snuka? And they're like, "Oh, you're too old and decrepit for us to go after. So peace. See you later." Yeah, Captain Marvel pulled a Snuka without the murdering of a woman. Obviously,
but he didn't murder a fucking woman in a coke fueled rage.
No, he did not.
But he did pull a Snuka. That's what happens at some point, because the WCW comics are in there.
Yeah.
So at some point, I think Ric Flair shows up and goes, "Yo, you pulling Snuka?" And then he leaves. Woo, woo, Snuka, woo, woo. God, what's funny is that just before...
wrestling. Oh,
no, what's funny is that we were just talking before this because they released. Time Magazine released an article about the top 50 podcasts you should be listening to right now.
Yes. We are not on that. Surprise.
And these are reasons. This is stuff that...
Is this why?
Because if Time Magazine was like, "Oh, go back and listen to this episode where they compare Captain Marvel's death to Jimmy Snuka.
Getting away with murder.
And it's like, oh, well...
Yeah, that's why we're never going to be on a list.
Oh, we'll be on a list, though. We'll be on a list to...
Like, the 50 podcasts no one should, like, that shouldn't be.
The 50 podcasts that nobody should ever listen to and that you should keep children away from.
Oh, no, you should definitely keep children away from this podcast. Please don't let kids listen to this. If you were under 18, turn this off until your 18th birthday.
I want to actually can I write an article for Time just called the 50 Podcasts when you see them run?
It's just 1 through 50 is just worst collection ever, worst collection ever, worst collection.
We would definitely 100% would be on there, but I would. Oh man, that could be fun.
Maybe you should.
Why aren't there bottom?
Maybe you should pitch that.
I should do that for
honestly. Maybe you should pitch that. You should pitch that to somebody.
You know what I want to
pitch it to the AV Club.
I don't have really like writing examples like that, but I want to do.
You could write something.
But yeah, because like you can pitch stuff like on Cracked.
Yeah.
And you could be like, and I want to do actually
put it on Medium. Anybody can put it on Medium.
Really?
I think so.
Because I want to do.
Or you could do BuzzFeed Community. You could anybody. Can
that means I got to talk. Oh, this all sounds upsetting to me. When you start talking about BuzzFeed, I'm like, oh, but I'm not like a hip guy.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm not a hip guy. I don't like avocados.
It's true. You don't like avocados. How can you ever speak to the millennial audience if you don't like an avocado?
I don't know. I can't speak. Everything is out my reach.
You're like, avocado? Ugh. Soon you're going to be one of those old men eating onions. Just like apples.
I bought a red onion the other day to put on bagels. I think I'm a step away from just eating it in my hand.
Oh God, like an apple?
Yeah.
Man, I didn't think those people were real.
I think I'm becoming that.
There was a whole Twitter thread that Drew Maggery did, and it was like grandpa doing the most grandpa things, and a lot of them were like, and my grandpa used to eat onions like apples, and I was like, what the fuck, man? All I can think of is the poor women who were married to these men.
Well, you're looking at one.
Oh, God. Maybe it was just like, and he was so normal. And then the way I knew he was old is I walked into the kitchen one day and he was just hunched over eating an onion like an apple. And that's how I knew he had become an old man.
And I actually looked him in the eyes and I couldn't break eye contact at the end.
And then we were like, should we go to Perkins for the 3 p.m. special?
Perkins right now, goddammit.
I'm making a chicken.
Well, afterward.
Oh, okay.
Maybe give us a grasshopper shake or something.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they used to make those like mint shakes.
I don't remember that.
One time my buddy found a bug in it and he went, I'm not going to drink it. I'm not going to pay for it. Take it away.
Ew.
Yeah. See, here's the thing. Like, I'll say this real quick because this is like another 10 podcasts you can listen to me to talk about this. But it feels like every time I read a list like that, it's always the same stuff. And it's always stuff that's like, well, yeah, of course, these are the ones you should be listening to because this is what everybody already listens to. This is like the top 50 on iTunes.
Yeah.
Or an Apple. This is, everybody's already listening to these shows. They're making this, part of their schedules.
Yeah.
And, it never feels like there's anything unique in there. I mean, there's some stuff in there that maybe I didn't hear of.
There were a couple things in there that I was like, oh, that'd be kind of cool to listen to. But a lot of them were like, yep. I've listened to that. Like S-Town. I listened to S-Town. I didn't like S-Town. I felt like it was kind of a bait and switch.
I don't even know why S-Town would be on a list like that because
it's over.
Well, first of all, it came out all at once, and it was like what, a year and a half ago?
Yeah, and it's on that list.
And I'm like, what? You couldn't find anything else that wasn't? Yeah, of course everybody listens to that show, but it's not existing anymore. It's not like new anymore.
Right.
So,
it's not going to have like additional seasons.
And there's a lot of ones where it's like, well, these are on hiatus. So you should enjoy it. And I'm like, no, why don't you think of something that's actually active?
Yeah.
There's a lot of those too. And it's like, man, you guys are just picking something because it's on a list and that's what people are listening to.
Yeah. For me, seeing S-Town on that list, I was kind of like, seriously?
Yeah.
I mean, again, I listened to it. I was very excited for it.
I haven't listened to it yet.
Because, I was like, because the ads that they were playing for it we've got this murder in a small town and everyone's ignoring it because of the sheriff is like this, super powerful guy and everybody's ignoring it. I'm like, yes, give me that. That's not what this fucking podcast is about. No. It's about just this weird guy who lives in what he calls Shit Town. That's why it's called S-Town. And I'm like, if you had told me that it was about this weird guy going in, I think I would have had a better reaction. But you pulled a bait and switch with me, and I'm not having it.
Because they wanted everybody because it's from Serial, and they wanted everybody to be like, well,
and I was like, bullshit.
Because Serial 2 was a big wet fart, and
yeah, kind of.
Season 2, it was like, because Serial, the first season of Serial was awesome.
Yeah,
but it was also
great.
like it hit the right kind of demos, and it brought a lot of people in that I think felt that. But now it's like, God damn it, just do so. I don't know. It just frustrates me when I see these lists, and it's like I get it. And at the same again, look, we've been embraced once on the AV Club, on their list,
which was very surprising.
It was very surprising, but that's also because I was very insistent. On
you were aggressive.
I was very good. And look, at least I got that. We got that. I'm fine with that. I would love to be revisited at some point, but that's up to them. At least somebody knows we exist. But it's also, and they do a good job, and so does, I guess, Splitsider. But that's the thing. It's like that's literally 2 places I just named. And that's it. It feels like that's it as far as like weekly reviews and stuff like that, and the podcast press, and just getting like yourself out there. Like, I don't even know. It's such a frustrating world, and people just be like, "Well, you just gotta promote, and people will see you, and you gotta have good product and stuff like that." It's like, I think we do. I think we have a pretty good product. I think we've been working really hard, and you and I have a good rapport, and I think we have fun. And we're stupid, and we're not perfect, and I guess we don't do fucking sound bites, and we swear too much, and
of course. But I mean, for me, that stuff, I'm like, I don't really care if we're on a list. I think what's most frustrating to me when I look at those lists is it's the same people.
Yeah.
And it's always the same outlets. It's always like NPR and
Slate
and da-da-da-da. And I'm like, so this, like, the whole point behind podcasting is it's supposed to just like level the playing field. So really, if we're talking like the best, we should be like, hey, here's this podcast you've never heard of. It's some guy in his garage in fucking Milwaukee who talks about, I don't know, whatever. Pick something.
Well, but the thing is, to that point, there's a lot of shows out there that are run by independent people that, even though they're good, they're still really bad.
Well, I mean, maybe that's what I mean. It's just like, it's become really good, even though it's like some guy in Milwaukee who does this on his spare time. Like, that's the sort of stuff I want to see on those lists. Like, shit I've never even heard of.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see. I don't want to be like, oh, it's Dear Prudence and My Favorite Murder. I'm like, yeah, I know.
So, we know My Favorite Murder.
I know.
There's a lot of people on there, And there are some of those. I've seen a lot of those shows on there.
I'm not saying that they're not good.
They're good.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying they're not good. It's just like I see them on every list. I'd love to hear about podcasts that aren't typically on lists. That's all I'm looking for.
So, well, before we get into a big rage-fueled fire,
I think it's more rage-fueled on your side.
No, definitely rage-fueled on my side. You're pretty level-headed.
Yeah, I try.
You're good. I'm not.
Even though I apparently yell at waitresses.
Stop it. Okay. All right. Let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk about our book for this week.
Xenozoic Xenophiles,
a fan podcast devoted to the comic series Xenozoic Tales.
It's a post-apocalyptic adventure series filled with Cadillacs and dinosaurs.
I'm Ruth.
And I'm Darren.
Please join us as we discuss the stories, characters, and art in this excellent comic series from writer and artist Mark Schultz.
Special episodes feature interviews with Mark Schultz himself discussing Xenozoic Tales and his other comics.
Listen at Podbean, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and YouTube.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, or visit XenozoicXenophiles.com.
Xenozoic Xenophiles is part of the Rad Adventures Network at radadventuresnetwork.com.
All right, we're back here in Worst Collection Ever with our book for this week. It is Justice League Task Force, number 0 from October 1994. This is, I believe, our second run with Justice League Task Force. And this is is this our first 0 issue? I feel like we've had to have done another 0
I feel like
issue.
we might have done another one before. Yeah. We haven't done many.
Yeah, we haven't done many. I feel like we've done another 0 issue before. I had to go back and look, but but this is our first one of our 0 issues from the post 0 hour when they renumbered a bunch of stuff 0 and then they went back into the regular numbering. But
dumb.
It is dumb. But this was back when I was like prime collecting for me, and back in the 90s, and I was excited for these.
I know. You love a 0 issue.
Yeah. No, I was a big fan of those, and I have a few of them, and like I think I have I have a few, and I'm just a fan. So it's cool because they're kind of silvery, but silver ink in there. It's very exciting. But yeah, this Justice League Task Force number 0, and we have what I believe is the new team.
Yes.
That has been assembled that we get to meet in this issue. Of course, the leader is John Johns, Mr. Martian Manhunter.
John Jones.
He is here.
Which it's kind of like they drew his arms like he has arm hair.
I think that was
weird, right?
I think that was one of the first things I remembered.
It looks like Wolverine.
Well, I was like, are we sure this isn't Robin Williams? Because Robin Williams
was he supposed to be John Jones?
No, but Robert Williams had a lot of arm hair.
He was a very hairy man.
A very hirsute man.
Yes, he was. Yeah. He was very, very fuzzy.
Yeah, and so he's got you really see the arm hair.
Yeah, and I'm like,
center.
Does John have arm hair? Like, do Martians have body hair? You know what? This is a good question.
He could create it.
But why would he want it? He's like, I just want to be so manly, and he's like, hair.
He's like, he doesn't look like my arm's hairy, but he doesn't have a hairy chest, doesn't have hairy thighs.
Doesn't have hair on his head. Hairy legs, nothing.
We don't know.
Just hairy forearms.
Just hairy ass forearms.
Okay.
Just rocking those things. But he's on there and he's flying out. It's basically what's going on is in the background we have the Ray and he's making a zero with his light, and then we have John, we have Despero,
yes,
we have Gypsy, and then we have Triumph,
yes,
my favorite Canadian band, Triumph.
Yes. Hold on. Oh, that's why this is Despero's legs.
That's his body. Oh, what you thought that was his legs?
Yeah, I was like, wait, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what Triumph is doing here. Like, is he running? But why is he running like? Is he doing that dance?
I don't know, but you know what? This is not the first time that he looks like he's dancing. There is another part where he's drawn where he just looks like he is just like getting into it at a golf club. He is feeling his Cure music.
You know what I feel like he's doing? I feel like he's doing that dance with those guys that video of those guys singing on Take On Me, and it's like that one that looks like Big E, and they're doing that.
That one where they're like running down like Fairfax or whatever.
Yeah. So it looks like one of those guys.
Yeah, he absolutely does. And he's like got his eyes closed. He's the only one on here that has his eyes like closed. He also looks like he's screaming.
Yeah, I know. He should be careful.
They make him look very weird in this book. I kind of feel bad for him.
Well, he's running really stupidly. And John's just kind of flying going, Durr.
Also hairy arms. Like his arms aren't even like, how the standard Superman pose where they're like, these are kind of just like the hair is just weighing on him so much that he can't put his arms all the way up.
Yeah, for some reason they had to put them down. So I feel like this was to showcase his new arm hair. So on the inside here, so we open up, real quick, I want to point out, did you like this?
Oh, this like Saturday lineup thing with Saved by the Bell and shit.
Yeah, but like NBC, so it's 94, and they're like, "Hey teens, watch our shit on Saturday mornings."
What is even California Dreams? I don't even remember that.
Well, they would have these shows on.
I don't remember.
They would put these shows together that like teens would, if you're home on a Saturday morning, if you're a teenager.
I like where it's like, look at all these white teens, except for like one black guy.
I had football practice, so I wasn't football games, so I didn't get to watch any.
I never watched any of them. I was never into Saved by the Bell or any of that shit.
I watched X-Men, and that was it. And wrestling, fuck everything else.
I was never into any of that stuff. So,
but this is you got Saved by the Bell, the new class, and you have Screech is back. Screech comes back as like assistant principal or something.
Oh, gross!
And this picture here, he's like my psychic.
He's like, I'm gonna do porn one day.
That's the first thing I thought of. It's like, I kind of wish that was the speech was like, my psychic powers, because he's saying, my psychic powers are telling me that Saturday mornings are about to change forever. And I kind of wish he was saying, my psychic powers are telling me I'm about to do porn.
Yeah, one day.
And then that's like all what the series revolves around. It's just him being like, just being like an assistant principal, but also being like, I'm going to do porn. Psychic power. It's like, Screech, you okay? And he's like, and he just runs out of the thing.
God.
And then it's like, the teens are just like, oh man, one day are we gonna watch porn?
Are you gonna watch Screech in porn?
Are we gonna watch our principal in porn?
No.
Saved by the Bell, principal in porn.
Gross.
Yeah. So I also like this picture because like there's this picture. So you got boy, girl, 3 girls, 3 boys. And there's 2 girls that are holding 2 of the boys' faces. Actually, it's fun. I like this one boy. These 2 boys here. two guys here are like, has the same exact hair, but one's blonde and one's black.
Yeah.
Like it's the most 90s hair. And then
It really is the most 90s hair.
And then there's this one girl in the end who's just like, I don't get to touch a guy's face.
She's like, I'm not touching anybody.
Yeah, maybe she's like, it's like, you don't get, it's like nobody else wanted to touch her. But I mean, she's pretty just like the rest of them.
Yeah, but she's like, I'm not touching people.
Maybe she didn't wash her hands.
Maybe she had no hands. Maybe that was the thing. Maybe it was like, you know how they always try to like teach a lesson?
We don't see her hands. So.
Instead of they're like, you know what, we've done kids in wheelchairs. Let's do kids without hands.
Let's just have a girl show up.
I can see some coked up executive thinking that was like a brilliant idea.
Saved by the Bell new class featuring the girl with hooks for hands.
God. I can see it.
We call her Brooke the Hook. She goes to the Peach Pit or to the Max or whatever. And she's like, I can't eat my burger with this hook.
Or she could. It would be like the best. Everything would be on a stick.
Oh shit! She's making food on she's having stuck at people like hot dudes are eating food off of her hand.
Like she replaces her hook, like, you know, and then she gets like a stick. So she's got a hook on one and a stick on the other, and all food is eaten off of sticks. Which, I mean, that's kind of cool. Who doesn't want to eat stick food?
I don't know. We actually discovered a nice stick food place recently.
That's true. All food on sticks.
And then real quick, so then you have California Dreams, Anime Inside stuff. I also like this one. It's I think these would be like interstitials where they would have like name your adventure, and apparently you would have Ashley from Fresh Prince and Mario Lopez and whoever this doofus is.
Yeah, nobody knows who that guy is.
Like death-defying adventures. It would be like things.
But animated.
Like, no, not animated. I think they would be like, oh, why don't you jump off a bungee thing? It would always be like some extreme 90s stuff. Yeah. But for some reason, they're drawn as if like they're in a plane, but it's like kind of like you would be at the boardwalk and you would stand by the plane. Yeah. But there's like a gun on the plane. I don't know. I just like that.
The whole thing is weird.
90s. Yeah. So anyway, so now we're finally, so the book here starts, we're in Ivo Town.
Yes.
Which Ivo Town apparently, I couldn't find any information about this, but apparently...
it's an island.
It's an island off the coast of the Carolinas.
Yes. So Dr. Ivo, he built a bunch of robots.
Yeah.
And this is where they live.
Yeah, and he lived there with him because something happened where he got all, like, his face all fucked up.
Yeah, because didn't he, like, realize that what he had done was wrong or whatever, and he was, like, atoning or something.
But he basically created his own island off of
with robots that look exactly like people and that act like people.
But they have, like, robot parts exposed.
Yeah, it's a little weird. At least they don't hear.
No, they do. You can see, like, their ears. Like, they got, like, little...
Oh, yeah, no, you're right. Yeah. So they're walking along, and all of a sudden there's this huge explosion, and these people start falling. And it's John has just burrowed his way up through the crust of the island.
Because basically, he's digging a geothermal tap. So basically,
they need heat. Basically,
he
doesn't want to cut down any trees. It's easier to.
Yeah, he's being he's being very respectful but disrespectful to the earth.
Yeah,
because he's just like,
and also this people's town because he just came up through the middle of their street.
They're not real people.
They're not real people, but they do have like the ability to get angry because one of them starts yelling at him.
He does where?
Yeah, later. It's the next page. So, it's him and Despero's there and he's like, oh, what are you doing? He's like, well, this. He's like, you're kind of fucking stuff up.
Yeah.
He's like, but this is going to be our new headquarters here. So
what happened was Ice died in like an earlier issue of Justice League Task Force. She apparently helped Ivo create this island and these people. I don't know. I tried to look it up. I couldn't find anything about it.
And this is when Despero has like, who else is conscious?
Elron.
Okay, yeah. So he's like still trying to figure out what's going on. But see, there's this woman yelling at him because he fucked up the thing.
She's not yelling at him.
Yeah, she is.
No, he's not saying anything. What are you talking about?
He says something like, perhaps. Hold on, Despero says, but that's no excuse to be so casual with the natives. And like the robot dog is barking at him, and this robot lady's mad at him. And he's like, oh, it doesn't matter. They're just robots.
How do you know that she's mad at him?
Because it's like, she's over here and she's all upset. I took it as she was mad.
I thought she was just falling over.
Yeah, because look, she fell over right here.
Okay.
Well, anyway. So, Despero apparently has been reading these books like Life 101, like trying to like understand, who he is and how he relates and blah, blah, identity, etc.
He's trying to understand how to be a cool robot inside of a demon's brain.
Yeah.
And he's trying to be hip.
How do I be hip when I look like Despero?
And
everything on my body looks like spikes.
Yeah, he's got spikes.
Did you think like he would like at least take off the spike shoulder pads?
That's exactly.
He'd be like, maybe I should change to like a sweater with like a cat on it or something.
Yeah, he's just showing up with spike shoulder pads. Like, can I help with your food drive?
Yeah, like why isn't he wearing like a t-shirt with a smiley face on it? Like, no, he's just walking around in like
slick
spiky.
back his fins.
Yeah. Slick back, like if you're gonna like, I'm going on a job interview, you take out your like big gauge earrings or whatever.
You should do like what's his face did, Terror Inc. and just tie back your face whiskers into like a 90s
into a bun,
into a 90s bun.
Yes, that's exactly what you should do.
Yeah, he needs a thing, but he's got the like one of the ugliest color schemes.
Oh yeah,
because he's like his body is completely like
pink,
but like dark pink, and like he's got like these weird gold like armor, but it's like nothing that covers him completely. It just kind of covers like part of his shoulder.
Yeah.
And he's I don't know what his deal is. He's always looked weird.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Yeah. So he so he's like, look, I'm trying to figure this out, and he's like, well, John's like, well, like, look, let's go get together the rest of this team.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go find some people. So
he's like, we gotta have a superhero team. So he flies around and he goes. So and then this is my favorite part. So he goes to this Triumph's house, and Triumph apparently is a man who was a hero back in the very early golden age. Who got sucked into like a vortex or a warp or something, and everybody forgot about him.
Yes.
That was the thing. So now he's back in like our regular time stream, and now he doesn't know what to do with himself. So he's trying to apply to go to college so he can like, get a job or something.
Trying to get into grad school. And he can't because his references are like 70 years old or whatever.
His references are fucking dust.
All it shows here, and because I
got Albert Einstein as a reference. I was like, yeah, right, buddy.
Because I don't know anything about this character, I just see a guy getting a rejection, there's like 3 panels and it's just a different letter, and he's getting rejected from each of them. And he says this is his 77th rejection. And then there's just feet hovering above a pile of letters and a hand dropping a crumpled letter. I thought this man had hung himself. I was like, oh shit, this just got real dark. But no, he's just flying.
Yeah,
because he's just floating. I really thought he had hung himself.
Because Triumph, you see, can manipulate electromagnetic fields, and he's got some sort of powers like that.
Really thought he had died. I thought he was like, this is my 77th rejection. Goodbye, cruel world.
Just like Task Force, it's like
check out oh shit, things are getting dark.
Next issue, one of our team dies, and it's real life shit.
He's like, oh man, this sucks. No more, no financial security. Can't go to grad school. I'm like, actually, that's probably for the best.
Hey man,
you don't want to pay those student loans back.
You want to be paying those student loans. They didn't have.
This is a blessing in disguise, my friend.
Yeah, go. Start a podcast.
Yeah, start a podcast.
Or get yourself some training. Go to the Vry.
Oh no, don't do that. Don't go to those.
Learn how to become a TV repairman.
No. Don't go to a for-profit school. Go to like a legit trade school.
Yeah, go to a trade school.
Go to trade school. Oh, do HVAC? Dude, you're going to be making serious bank if you go to HVAC.
He'd be a great HVAC guy.
Yeah, he'd be a great HVAC guy.
Yeah. No, he'd be awesome at it. So, I mean, he's got electromagnetic powers. He would avoid all the bullshit he's going through in life. He's like, look, I'll just get an HVAC because people all need to get their air conditioning fixed.
Hey, especially with climate change.
He's in Colorado.
Are they?
Apparently, they're at John's.
Oh, is this John's cabin, or was he saying you can go to my cabin?
I thought he was.
This is where I was confused because he does bring it up because Despero and John show up. There's letters all over the ground. Despero's like looking through them and he's like, hey, will you stop looking through my depressing mail? And he's like, John, my life is pointless, blah, 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 blah. And John's like,
hey, Columbia Publishing House.
He says, you're welcome, though a Colorado cabin is hardly my true home. So I think he is. He's in some cabin in Colorado.
They're in Colorado.
And then John sort of like waxes poetic about like his life and about how when he was a private detective, and he's like, never mind.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing. He's just like, my life, and Triumph is like,
everybody's
dude,
like,
I'm just going to HVAC school, okay?
Yeah, seriously, like trade school's a good call. It's better than grad school, just saying.
Yeah. Also, why is there a purple? Is this, John just have random ass purple? Well, that's a Mars globe.
Oh, that makes makes sense.
Yeah, and
so Triumph puts on his clothes.
Well, Triumph, because they're like, hey, you want to like just come join our team of assholes? And like,
and he's like,
HVAC boy's like,
you know what? He's like, I got nothing else to do.
I just want to call him HVAC now.
I wish he would go to HVAC school. This would probably save him like a lot of time. So he's like, yeah, whatever. So they put on their clothes and he leaves. But after they leave, there's a phone call, and it's from somebody who knew him back in the day.
Oh, yeah, but who cares?
And he's like, man, give me a call because I'm going to rock your world. And I'm like, did somebody who knew you back in the golden age really use the term rock your world? All right, whatever.
Are you going to set him up on like a dating show or something? It's like, hey, man, I'm going to put you on TV. Because you saw him on TV or something.
Oh, you're going to be the John Hamm on the dating show? Back in the 90s when he had the same hair as those fucking kids.
Is he going to be on Studs?
Yeah.
Does Mark DiCarlo know this guy?
Studs.
Yeah, Mark DiCarlo used to host Studs.
I remember Studs. It's been a very long time. I think I used to watch Studs.
I watched Studs too. We're in prime Studs time.
You know what show I used to watch that Chris Hardwick used to host? The one on the boat.
Oh, Shipmates?
Shipmates!
I never watched.
Do you remember Shipmates? Oh my god, I used to watch Shipmates because it was like on in the afternoon, like before everything else that was decent. It was Shipmates, and then there was another one too. I miss Shipmates.
Fifth Wheel?
I didn't watch that one.
Or Eliminate?
I didn't watch that one. I want to watch Shipmates again, though.
They should bring back Shipmates. It should just be like...
They should bring back Shipmates. It's just like people on a cruise going on like a 3-day date. What a fucking nightmare.
Bring it back. Well, that's the thing. It's like...
What a nightmare.
Somebody was talking... I was listening to All Fantasy Everything, and they were talking about MTV shows. They were drafting MTV shows. And one of them brought up Next.
Oh, yeah. They're
saying that... And it's a good point, because today, it's just how it is. But, you know, you can't have a show like that because it makes people feel bad. Because literally, you can walk off that bus and people will be like, next.
And that happened. I've seen that.
When that happened, I guess I never watched it regularly, but apparently there's an episode where some girl fell getting off the bus, and the guy made sure she was okay, and then he's like, next.
At least he made sure she was okay.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. But there's also another show I used to watch, which really disturbed me, was Date My Mom.
Oh, I've heard of it. I've never seen it.
Where basically the premise was...
That's gross.
You go on a date with a girl's mom, but you don't get to see the girl until afterward, and then you pick between the moms.
And then you date the daughter. That's so disgusting.
And there was one episode where, like, this one guy picked, like, a girl who was kind of, you know, I guess for all purposes, homely.
Okay.
And everybody else is like, you know, because afterward, because the one mother was like, my daughter looks like Jessica Alba, you know, just screaming it, like, you know, and they're like, you know, and he didn't pick her. But it's like, well, how would he know? He didn't see her.
Yeah.
And then, but he picked this girl that wasn't as attractive, and everybody else is, and they doing a cutscene later. It's like, hey, good job, dude. I was like,
just mocking her,
just mocking this poor girl.
Oh,
another episode.
Damn it.
There was a band called Apartment 26 that was, they released a few albums back in the early 2000s because the son of Biff Butler, what was his name? No, his son was Biff Butler. The kid's name was Biff Butler. Geezer Butler from Black Sabbath.
Okay.
His son, Biff Butler, was the singer of this band. And you didn't hear from them after a while. And then I'm watching Date My Mom, and here's fucking Biff Butler dating dudes' moms. Or dating girls' moms.
How old was he?
Not that old. He was probably around my age. Maybe a little bit younger, because I think he was...
So he was dating age appropriately. He wasn't like a 59-year-old guy being like, I can't wait to date this 22-year-old.
He wasn't as old as Ozzy, just walking up like, I want to date your mom. You know, it's like, no, it wasn't like that.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, Ozzy, apparently, I've listened to the first episode, and I'll probably won't listen to any more of it, but there is a new Osbournes podcast. Have you seen this?
No.
That
reviews the show?
No, it's the Osbournes. Doing a podcast.
No.
And talking about just bullshitting. And I
thank you.
And I was like, I never really watched the Osbournes.
I think I saw a couple episodes, but I never really got into it.
And the thing is, though, for somebody, you would think somebody like myself, who, this was during like the height of my new metalness. Mm-hmm. You'd think somebody like myself would be really into it. I can't stand it. I can't get into it. And I was like, okay, well, I'll see what's going on, because maybe this will end up being a big hit.
Sure.
Because, you know, I was just like, okay, well, Ozzy's back. And everybody probably was like, oh, Ozzy should do a podcast. No.
No, Ozzy should not do a podcast.
Or his son should do a podcast. You know, I mean, I always thought Jack was really cool.
Well, didn't he, like, get diagnosed with something?
Jack had MS.
And then he got, like super fit. because he was like heavy and he got like super fit and got like really into sports and stuff.
He's been through some shit. He's been through some stuff in the past couple of years, and I haven't really kept up with him recently. And same thing with Kelly, you know.
It's also the Osbournes is another one of those families that they're like they have another daughter that was like fuck this, so they never talk about that daughter.
There's 2 kids. I think there's 2 kids. I think there's a son that Ozzy has that are just like I don't want to be on the show. Fuck you.
Yeah, so like no, so it's only like
the fucking,
so it basically they just pretend those two don't exist.
Kelly going, you know, and Sharon going, and I was going, and Jack going,
no, thank you.
Yeah, and that was a fucking show, and it was like, that's what the podcast sounded like to me. It was like, it was like those 2 monsters with the
Ozzy
Street with the heads going,
Ozzy needs captioning. Because he's very difficult to understand. Because he mumbles and he has an accent. So
and right away the episode sounds like they're just basically Jack bought a bunch of equipment and was probably like, all right, we're gonna start this, and everybody's like, oh, we're starting. I'm like, shut up, all of you. I don't care. I'm not gonna listen to you anymore. I don't care.
Oh, so
You're
angry.
Live, great.
So angry.
But I just if you listen, but don't make this a popular show. It sucks ass.
I was just gonna say you can probably tell there's not a lot going on in this book because we're talking about everything else.
Well, basically, this book is
it's just getting a team together.
It's just like a sitcom where they're like or like that part in the movie. It's like God to get the gang together. And, like you hear fucking Rome by the B-52s.
Yeah, pretty much.
So they're flying.
So they're flying, and this is when John and Despero have like a little telepathic conversation about Triumph, about how he seems kind of off, and then this is where he's like, he could have been like a Superman type, but he's been sucked in. Nobody remembers him, and he's all he
could have been dope as shit.
No, but his life sucks now.
But now we're hanging out.
So we go to a training studio, like a little martial arts studio with Gypsy and Bronze Tiger,
and they were a part of this team initially.
Yes, but for some reason they're just like, we just want Gypsy.
They invite Bronze Tiger too.
Oh, and he says no, right?
He says no, and he's like, nah, man. Because basically what happened was, I think in the issues before this, when they were farting around with the Overmaster, which has led to Ike's death and stuff, they were going up like a mountain. Apparently, they just left like Gypsy and Metamorpho like in a snowbank. or something.
Yeah. She mentions that.
She mentions that, and she's like, "This sucks." And she can't. And the thing about Gypsy is that she's. Yeah, she got interesting powers. She could do chameleon stuff. She can hide and blend and stuff, but she's got to rely on being like an action fight, be able to fight. And, and
that's what she's learning how to do here.
But she's also wearing like very impractical clothes.
Well, I mean, she's wearing like workout leggings, which is smart. But then she's wearing like a bandeau bikini top that you'd wear to the beach, and you're like, honey.
And she has like huge cans here.
Yeah, see, this is the thing. This is why you can tell that dudes draw these because. This is what I always point out because everybody's like, "Oh, Wonder Woman, blah 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 blah. She shouldn't have straps," and I'm like, "Watch female wrestlers.
Yeah,
tell me how many of them are wearing strapless." And your answer is none. They might have one shoulder or whatever, but they have some sort of strap because the minute you lift up your arms, they're going down. And even if you can tell on the way they built the bodice for Gal Gadot. It comes really high and then it comes in. Yeah. Like towards her chest. So it won't move. Like her boobs can't come out. So like when you're just like throwing on a bikini top, this isn't going to do shit. They're popping out, dude.
Yeah. She this is basically what she wears, but she just puts on like a jacket.
No, she puts on a jacket and a sarong.
Oh.
She just like ties a little, like she's going to the beach. She ties a sarong that matches this bikini top around her waist and then she like runs off.
So she can like, go to the beach and go fight.
Yeah. With leggings.
Yeah, and so she's fighting it out. She's training with Black Tiger.
But John and the gang are floating outside the window.
I do like this frame here where they're just like, she's like, I can't concentrate. And he's like, you gotta, or Black Tiger's like, she whiffs on something. And she's like, Black Tiger's like, you gotta concentrate. It's like, I can't. There's some creeps just standing here.
Yeah.
And it just cuts to, you just see John and all, and Triumph and all them just kind of like
floating.
Like, just like,
because this is also like, they're on like the 14th floor of like a building.
Yeah.
So they walk in the window as you do. And he's like, hey, Gypsy, guys, would you like to be on the team? And Gypsy's like, you left me in a snowbag. He's like, yeah, I know. And talking to John and
she's basically just screaming at John for a bunch.
Yeah, well, I mean, I get it. You leave me in a snowbank, I'm going to be mad.
Because John and Gypsy had a pretty...
They kind of have a thing.
They kind of had a thing. Well, because when they were together in JLA Detroit, like, she was just a kid.
Oh.
She was like a runaway kid, and like John was like cool with her and stuff. But now she's like, a lady. and she's still kind of like, but they've had their different issues recently, and everything with the team, and now they got Despero on the team, and Despero killed her parents,
right? So she hates him, even though it's not his brain. Blah 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 blah. So there's an issue.
Yeah, so she's having to go.
She kisses Bronze Tiger goodbye, kind of to piss off John, which again, gross, because if you knew her when she was a kid, don't fuck her.
I know.
That's like a fucking rule. Like if you're an adult, and you know someone when they are a child, do not fuck them. Ever. Ever. Yeah, so if you're like 39 years old and here comes a little 7-year-old, that 7-year-old, when they're an adult, is off limits for fucking ever. Because it is gross. You are abusing your power. Don't do it.
Gypsy is like,
oh, did you get jealous when I was kissing Bronze Tiger? And John should be like, no, I see you as a daughter.
Also, I'm a Martian, and I had family in there, and I should probably just like
gross.
Also, look at my hairy arms.
Yeah, my weirdly hairy arms. No hair anywhere else.
He is rocking that hair constantly.
There it is. They were just like, it's really important for John to have hairy arms.
I think it's the 5th member of this team. 6th member of this team.
It really is.
Justice League Task Force now with John Jones arm hair.
Yeah.
I wish they would have released an action figure that you could add arm hair. Like actual arm hair.
Ew.
Or he grew arm hair, like Lego arm hair. Or like
oh, you mean like one of those Legos where you like push it, goes...
Yeah, like Putty. He's like, oh, John's got real arm hair, guys.
Babe, I'm going to learn how to... there's a certain cake decorating tip that makes things look like grass or hair. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna learn how to use it. I'm gonna make you a John Jones cake, and it's gonna have hairy arms.
Can you just make me his hand?
Yeah. It's just a green arm with lots of hair. Yeah, it's gonna be gross.
like the Cloverfield paradox with like.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But there's a gimmick with a hand.
Yeah, there's a hand thing.
Yeah.
So they're flying along, and they're like, "Hey, this is the other member of our team is going to be the Ray, but the Ray is kind of having a hard day because he's battling robot men.
He's battling this group of like extreme 90s robot men.
I'm not really sure why he is battling
the Cabal. Excuse me, the Cabal.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I don't know why either. There's just a bunch of dudes there, just like, hey, we're here to like.
They're like, kill him, whatever. They're fighting. And the Ray's having a hard time. I guess he attacked like a good humor truck.
Yeah, he
on accident. Truck. Yeah, he didn't mean to, but he did.
The Ray's a kid.
Yeah, he's a young guy.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, there's no escape the Ray. And that's when the team descends. And they start killing. And then this is the part I said where Triumph really looks like he's goth dancing because he's getting hit from behind.
Wait, is it a goth dance?
That looks like one, yeah.
You go, you do. Is that the Sad Christ?
Yeah, that's the Sad Christ. I believe that's what it's called. But he just like has his arms out, but his head to the side. And he's just like, like he really just looks like he's getting down.
He looks like Conan in the episode. Conan on the episode of The Simpsons where he's like, only I can dance.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is. But this, I mean, like he just looks like he's really getting down.
He is getting down. Yeah, I don't understand what these 90s robots guys are beating up on the Ray.
I don't really know. And then so everybody has to fight the 90s robots guy.
Him and his band leader jacket.
Yeah, that's true. He does have a band leader jacket.
I like it though.
Oh, it's cool. No, it's fun.
I would wear that.
Yeah. So they start fighting, and Gypsy's like, "Oh, I'm using my powers." Blah blah blah.
Well, Gypsy ain't doing nothing. She
kicks that guy in the face.
She hides and then she kicks.
Well, I mean, hey, he didn't see her.
And then you got John, who is just becoming invisible.
Yeah, he's just like phasing out. Despero's there. The Ray is, everybody's fighting, and then
using moves.
The Ray sucks all the light out of everything, and then he poofs the light back to kind of like. Help them out.
These robots guys have like all these like individual superpowers, but just one of them is just to be able to have a bunch of fire.
Yeah, but it's not like real fire.
Yeah,
because he tries to, because of John. But
she's a Gypsy too, and she's alive.
Yeah, it's kind of just like an illusion of fire. It's kind of weird, and John's like, "No, it's okay, I'm fine." Triumph is here. I mean, basically, this is just a big fucking fight.
John says his vulnerability to fire is psychosomatic, basically, but it doesn't physical. So you can like shoot a bunch of fire at him, and he'll be fine. But it just sends off his arm hair.
But it freaks him out.
But it freaks him out. I didn't know that. I thought he had an actual vulnerability to fire.
I think he actually does. I think it's kind of weird in this one because I feel like he actually has a vulnerability to fire.
Yeah. I also want to understand here. So he's green, and then you get to this one panel.
He's kind of blue.
He's kind of like puke green, like kind of like a weird, like he just kind of gets
like a sage. Out. Yeah, he's like a light sage.
Well, I think it's kind of washed out for a second here, and I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't either. So
they figure out though, because John uses his telekinetic powers to understand what's going on in these guys' armors' heads, and they realize that there's some sort of technical link going on, and they basically use Triumph's power to create some sort of some sort of disruption to stop it.
Kind of like put a dome over them.
No. He does it here. He uses an electromagnetic pulse to kind of fuck up their thing. I get it. And so when they come to, there's 6 of them instead of 5.
Yeah, because John obviously has taken on the form of one of the guys. Then he's like, wait, why are there so many? And then he reveals himself. And then this is when
he does make a golf joke for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know.
Jeff playing through. I like that.
Yeah.
Humor.
And then they have like a weird static dome.
Yeah.
That goes over them. And I don't know how long it lasts. They don't say.
Ray makes a dome.
Yeah, so they make a dome and those guys have been neutralized. And then they get hauled off to Bel Rev. And
the Ray's sitting there like, oh man.
They're like, oh yeah, they're going to think I suck.
Hope they didn't see me when I suck ass.
When I blew up that good humor truck. And also, they had to help me. I hope they still want me on their team. And John's like, yeah, you want to be on our team? And he's like, oh yeah, I mean, of course. Why wouldn't you want me on the team? And then
I was going to offer it to my arm hair.
Yeah, but the arm hair can still be here. 6 member. And so they start flying off, and John makes some joke about like the good humor truck to be like, haha, we know what you did.
Yeah.
And that's the end of the book.
That's how it looks. Here's our team. Gypsy, Triumph, John.
Also, I would like to say there are 2 people on this team with fins. The Ray has one on his helmet, and Despero has one.
It's a fin team.
It's a fin team.
Very fin team.
John should get one. I mean, he can do whatever he wants.
They can all get little fins, be like, yo, we're here to support you with our fins.
Yeah.
Or they get like King Shark or whatever his name, or...
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like when somebody in your class has cancer and everybody shaves their head. It's the same thing.
Yes. Why am I laughing at that?
I don't know. It's a terrible joke.
No, but at the same time, I was like, I had cancer, and I was like, tee-hee. So, and then we get to the letters page that's talking about... I do like the letters page. It's called Taskmasters.
I like that. That's a good name.
Good
name for
page.
this.
And the little drawing is John holding back all the mail.
Because there's all the mail.
Because we're sending so many letters to Justice League Task Force.
So many, you guys. Who doesn't want to write this book?
Somebody writes in a letter here. His name is Harry Simon. That name sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Is he somebody I'm supposed to know?
Maybe. That's it.
And the next issue, we don't know. Next issue.
Does it say?
No, it says it here.
Oh, okay.
Vandal Savage is here. And we kind of get into where we already were talking about. So, yeah, we get into that. So, and that's it for Justice League Task Force number 0. Would you read the next issue of this?
I mean, if somebody handed it to me, sure, but I'm not going to go out of my way looking for it.
I think if somebody handed you, I think you put it down and not read it.
No, I mean, that's one of those things where I'm just like, fine, I'll read it. I'm not going to search for this.
No.
But I didn't hate it.
I wish what they would do, because I don't think these are collected.
Probably not.
I would just like to get these in a trade. And because there's not really that many issues of this book. There's only like 40 some odd issues of this series. And I would just like to be able to collect these, because I'm a John fan. I like John, and I like seeing what he's up to. Mm-hmm. And I'm on board with all of it. And I think he sticks around for pretty much the entire run. So I'm gonna have to keep digging on these. But yeah, no, I'm into this. It's kind of like your bullshit. Hey, here's the team.
Yeah.
And it's not really a good team.
No, it's
like the Ray is cool and John is cool, but Despero just doesn't fit, and Triumph is just way too. I think he's even more insecure than Ray is. And Gypsy is just like,
she's just there.
She's just there because she has a thing with John. I think that's why they kept her around.
Yeah, I'm not sure how Gypsy works anymore. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the only thing she can do is kind of phase in and out. And you're kind of
she can camouflage. That's her job. That's all she's been able to do. Now she knows how to kick.
Yeah.
And hopefully keep her breasts in her outfit.
Well, she could try. So, yeah, I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So that's it for this week's episode, as I yawn. Mm-hmm. Thank you for listening, folks. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram. I'm at Angry Hero Sean.
I'm at Jen Stansfield on Twitter and Instagram. You can find us on Facebook at Worst Collection Ever. And you can email the show, worstcollectionever@gmail.com.
I have to check the email.
Yeah, we have to actually do that.
I feel like we may have probably not have gotten anything, but it'd be interesting to see what's up there. And please rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get the show. Please give us a high rating wherever you can, and that will help us get the word out about the show and maybe get some visibility from Apple and any places that we do our show.
Want to be on a list?
I want to be on the list.
We're never going to be on a list.
I want to be on
the worst podcasting has to offer list.
All right, folks. Well, thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Bye.